Hi guys, this is Live English Coach and me, Anastasia Chapel. In this video lesson, we will be learning to describe different perspectives. By perspective, I mean a side from which we are viewing a particular situation. We can be expressing our own opinion, or we can be expressing the opinion of somebody or something else. Let's have a look at a few examples. Personally speaking, I don't like the on-screen keyboard. Or just, personally, I don't like the on-screen keyboard. So one way of expressing a perspective here is our perspective. We're talking about what we like or we don't like, so it's our own opinion and the perspective belongs to us. So one way of expressing this perspective is to use an adverb. We can use it alone. Personally, I don't like the on-screen keyboard, or we can use the adverb personally plus speaking. Personally speaking, I don't like the on-screen keyboard. We can translate it into Russian something like «Как по мне, так, мне не нравится то-то, то-то», или «Что касается меня, так, я предпочитаю то-то, то-то», или «Я не люблю то-то, то-то». Statistically speaking, flying is much safer than driving. In this case, I'm not expressing my own opinion, so it's not my perspective any longer, and it's shifted towards somebody else. It is shifted towards other people, people who work in statistics, analysts, people who are calculating and measuring data, right? So it's their perspective now. And what I do in this case, I take my original noun, which is statistics, and I turn it into an adverb by adding the suffix ly. And I have statistically speaking, flying is much safer than driving. С точки зрения статистики, или что касается статистики. What else can I do to express a certain perspective? I can use the word perspective itself in my sentence. And I can add a preposition which will help me and people listening to me understand who the perspective belongs to. In this case, from an economic perspective, a breakup of the union would not necessarily be a disaster. I'm not talking here about my own opinion, it's not what I personally think. It is the opinion, it is the perspective of somebody else, in this case of the economic perspective. So I turn my noun economy into an adjective, economic perspective. From an economic perspective, a breakup of the union would not necessarily be a disaster. If I don't want to use the word perspective, I can paraphrase it and use a phrase point of view of somebody. And I keep the preposition from. From the point of view of the economy, a breakup of the union would not necessarily be a disaster. These two phrases mean the same. From an economic perspective or from the point of view of the economy, they are synonyms. С точки зрения экономики, с позиции экономики, по статистическим экономическим данным, there are different ways of translating it into Russian, but the idea is the same. Please pay attention to the pronunciation of the article the when we have a noun after it which starts with a vowel, economy. So we hear e, it's a vowel, and the article the should be pronounced more like the economy in this case. A third way of expressing perspective is to use the phrase as far as in combination with a passive voice, as far as something is concerned. For example, as far as safety is concerned, we check all systems prior to departure. There is also a slightly easier way to express the same idea, and instead of saying as far as safety is concerned, we can say in terms of safety, we check all systems prior to departure. In spoken English, we can add the ending wise to our noun. Thus, we have the phrase safety-wise, there is no better car seat on the market. С точки зрения безопасности или согласно параметрам безопасности, по безопасности, что касается безопасности, different options to translate it into Russian, but please keep it in mind that this wise thing can be used in spoken English only. Don't use it too much in written English. And that's about it for just now. Thank you for watching and listening. Please feel free to look at more free lectures on my website, lovenglishcoach.com/blog. Bye for now.